Hey, good evening time. Alrighty, I know it is late. It is going on 9 o'clock here. I know the wife will probably complain here after a while too that I'm not in the house, but yeah, figure if we can get waited here. Let's see here. Got my little notebook. Can't remember if I used 1,000 or what I used on the last MRF. Well, since I've done a 4 version, so I figured I'd go through and build one. Yep. Okay. So I thought I was right. I've already built these before, so grab a couple of copper clads here, or metal clads, I mean. Hello, Mr. Bruce. Hello, King. I figured I'd have somebody out here anyways. It's not that incredibly late. Mr. Stewart, hello from Washington State. Good evening time. Yeah, it's not very late out there on the West Coast. It is here as far as Central Time, but I figured I'd try to get out here for just a little bit anyways and go ahead and continue a couple of builds. Good evening time, Ruben. It could be. You just got to pay for it. I know some people think this is kind of a waste of time, but I like to try to get these held together since you get several or multiple plates. I know that if you go ahead and solder them this way, you're less likely to miss one, believe it or not, and that can happen. Nothing wrong with that, Ruben. Yeah, my wife, she's been busy as all get out here in the shop helping me. course, she's kind of give up for the night, I think, because she said she was going to go in and wash her face and relax for a few minutes. She's still not used to, I guess, how Americans work over here. She's not used to seeing people work 12 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. But she's been super busy. She's been making up some preamps. She's got about 20 of them made up. They're not too terribly bad, especially for her first run. But went through and checked all of them. I've got 3 left to check, but I wanted to go on to the next project, so I stopped and didn't wait on her. But I'll check these here on another day. She's got about 20 of these made up. I've got a guy that's kind of interested in some, so I had her go ahead and make some up. She's wanting something to do, and now she thinks she's only going to be making up about 100 of these, but I'll show you one that's finished here. It's not much, but it takes a lot of time to actually sit down and make these little keying circuits. So she's got about 150 of them laying over here next to me that I've got her started on. So she's been winding those up and trying to make them look pretty. And in there where it kind of halfway focuses. Yes, she has finally made it. Yeah, my little China doll has finally made it. When I solder those down is where I know that we're going to be limited on space. Um, Not really at this time. I know how to do it, but I don't have any kind of a circuit that will let me do that just yet. I mean, I could sit down and build one. I built one for, if you will, high voltage at work. Um, I don't even see the box up here, but I did actually build one, so that I can convert basically anything from about 500 volts down to like 5 volts. So you can figure up the multiplication factor in regards to that. But I mean, I can do it, but I don't have anything. I thought about buying a high voltage probe, but I don't know how much use I would get out of one because I just don't do a whole lot of it. Yeah, yeah, it's been a long time. I have had somebody here, so that's definitely been, it's been interesting, to say the least. Just trying to figure out how much I want to cut off of that. I know part of it depends on if I want to go ahead and just feed it in directly here, or if I want to feed it off of here, or feed it directly into the middle. Um, One of the nice things about the 8 gauge or the 454 is you can get by with a single 8 gauge to run this. No, they're really not, but I could sit down and I can actually build that and hook up a regular voltmeter to it and calculate the voltage based off of the probe itself. I had real good success out of the last one I built, as far as showing me approximately the right voltage. Of course, where it was small enough, I was able to take the regular 220 that we've got, run it through there, and then I fine tune that one. I was able to go ahead and fine tune as far as for the voltage on that. Um, the only problem that I have ran into as far as to be able to build a circuit like that is I can find all kinds of the breadboard, but I can't find the breadboard that looks like this on both sides. Because when you're dealing with high voltage, you really actually want the solder tabs in any way, shape, or form. So, I've got this stuff that I make odd and end projects out of and what have you, but I haven't been able to find the other stuff. Used to 20 years ago, I could find it all day long. I could order it all day long, but I cannot seem to find it anymore, which is kind of sad, really. The other side of that too, Bruce, is I haven't really looked too hard for it either, just because of everything else that I've had going on. And still waiting on the doctor to call me back too. He's supposed to let me know they're going to try to run um, part of the deal there with my that through and see if insurance will cover it. Um, to do, he said generally isn't, but where they've made so many changes as far as with everything, especially after the first of the year, I got to find out what's going to go on there so I know when to schedule my surgery for my arm. This is something else too that I've seen that a lot of guys don't do is use any kind of adhesive under the power strips. And I've got a couple different types that I've used off and on, but I still like, even though I know it's separated by the phenolic, I still prefer to have something underneath of the phenolic to help go ahead and give me a little extra spacing. Not that you really got to worry about anything in regards to you know voltage or anything crazy, but with the 12 volts. But I still, I don't know, I still prefer to do it this way. Just another level of protection, I guess. So do we know who's playing in the Super Bowl this year? I haven't stayed up with enough to even know who's in the running right now. Chiefs for sure. Okay. All right, Bruce, have a good one, buddy. We'll catch you on the next one. I got one half of them that I've already done this with, and half of them, and that's odd. Oh, Kentucky roll call. I wished I'd have known about it. I would have tried to have possibly got in on that one too, Chad. I know we used to have roll calls around here, but um, it's just trying to stay up with everything. But my time has always been so erratic. Not sure if this will sell down there, Chad. If it does, great. Um, they kind of goes in spurts on the MRF 454s because they're a great channel one goes till 10. Okay, but I figured I'd go ahead and build a little small 454 amp. That's kind of a well, it's kind of a medium priced amp. Channel 21. Uh, yeah, well, I mean they do about 500 or 600 watts. They're great, depending on the radio and everything that you've got set up. Like I said, it's a really good setup. If you got a 60 or 80 watt radio, and you're not looking to get crazy, but you want to get some good power. It's the wrong coax. That should be for the beam. I was on the dummy load earlier. I got that 1x2. I got it done. I shot the video. I don't have it uploaded yet. I figured I'd wait and do that tomorrow. But I got the video shot earlier tonight. Got it tuned out. Got it together. Let's see. We're sitting here talking. Channel 21. Let's see. I think that would be what, Southwest? Come on, guys, keep talking. No, you'd be southeast. Yeah, southish. I've done a lot of 16 pills, and I think the closest to a 16 pill base as I've done was for Hillbilly down there in Kentucky. I did you know, the squares, the, what is it? Roughly, it's either 14 or 16 by 16 square. I did 16 pill amp for him, where I rebuilt it and done it up my way. And then I built him a power supply in the same identical case that he could set underneath of the amplifier, so it looked like kind of a matching set. And I think that's the only one that I've done like that. I've built several 16 pills, but I think that's the only one that was in a matching set, if you will. About at channel 21, anybody got the radio on out there? About at 21, be 006 Indiana. We're going to try for that check-in down there. Nope, nothing. until there's somebody way out there. Yeah, it was a 2 film. Trying to go through my notes here. I'm pretty sure I know what I've got going on with that. The most part I've built in just about every configuration, I think. So okay, so yeah, I just used the same on that. She's gonna love me whenever I go and have her sit there and start matching capacitors again for me. That'll drive her bananas. Yeah, speaking of going bonkers and bananas, Chad, there's because I'm gonna have her make me up some, but she's working on 150. She thinks it's 100, but there's 150 keying transistors that she's got started, and then she's got 20 preamps done. I've checked all but 4 of them, but she's kind of give up on me tonight, I think. Black Duck, good evening time. But yeah, she's been busy over there. The only thing that I got to watch is whenever she's out here. Um, and just like right now, she's left her soldering iron on again, where I've got the other one set up. She just hasn't figured out that she's got to shut the thing off. When she's done, I'll eventually get her trained though. Either that or she'll get me trained, one of the two. I don't know which, but Yeah, I figured where I'm kind of limited on space using this particular box, Chad, I figured I'd go ahead and slip it underneath there because I can still tap off on my rail to get to my transistors to feed them, no matter which direction that I decide to go with that, which I haven't made up my mind for sure which way I'm going. And other than the static that we've got going on here in Indiana, I can't say I've really heard anybody. You guys have all been quiet. Donkey Stomper has said the most here lately. Yeah, I know you're working. You're doing the same thing as me. Yep. Yeah, trying to get somebody else in here with you. Yeah, my wife made it back. Just watching. Mr. Baldy. I'm gonna say, don't be shy. You can key up and talk anytime you want. Oops, this one. A little extra solder inside this one. I didn't catch it or put it on. Otherwise, I'd have run the reamer in there first. I just know it's going to make a huge difference as far as when I go to wind these. There we go. Nice and clean. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's awful loud, honey. Oh, you're on a call? Okay. Yes, I am putting together another amplifier. Yeah, it is. honey, 加一点。谢谢。Let's see. Where to start? Well, I would say probably easiest way to get started on that is to sit down and figure out what you would like to build for the first time and start ordering parts as needed. I know there's a lot of people that do what I call copycat amps, where they buy somebody else's and then put it together based off of that. I know that's how a lot of different people over the years have gotten started. It gets you in the ballpark. I mean, but there's no, back in the days of the Toshiba, it was easier to sit there and build than what it is today because now, um, you run into so many different, so many different things. I mean, um, there's not one amplifier I think that's tuned exactly the same with the HGs. I mean, a lot of us once we figured out something, we wrote it down. Like I've got things wrote down here in my little notebook that kind of gives me my starting reference. And that's what we go off of as a reference. Let's see here. What's that? Yeah, start with a pile of parts. Well, no, that is not a dumb question. The reason why I decided to choose the 454s is because of the input volt or the input power that the 454s take is part of the reason. They're a great little driver, especially if you've got something. Let's say, one of the bench radios that I've got is President Richard, so it does about 60 watts. About 60 watts and about 20 bird. And that is kind of an ideal radio for this as far as for power. You're going to get the maximum drive out of it without hurting the amplifier in any way, shape, or form, and you're going to get some pretty good numbers. Um, that's a lot of the reason. The second reason is the size of cabinet because I've got several of these cabinets on hand, and I'll build miscellaneous with them. So the cabinet itself has got just enough cooling for this. unlike the 2879s, which really truly need a little bit more cooling than what this is. I mean, it's a great size because it's not the traditional full size that we normally use for a straight 4 pill or anything like that. Um, so it gives you a couple of different options, but generally they are a special order. Speaking of which, they are typically a special order as far as on building with them, but on occasions, like right now, where I'm mostly caught up here on my builds here in the shop. I've got some stuff that I want to get done personally, but um, I've got quite a few of these on hand. And again, we've got people that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's right. Okay. So I mean, again, it gives you different options on power, because you're going to see what 500-600 out of this amplifier. Hello, popcorn.
Beer.
Yes, beer. Yeah, popcorn and beer.
Always beer.
I don't know if I confused you or if I helped any. You've got guys that don't want something that draws a lot of current as well, and that's also one of the things that this has got going for it. Is I'll try to remember, and I'll do a current draw on this, and you'll see that the current that it takes to actually run this is way less. Even if you're running it on a sideband format, it runs way less amperage. I think you're only looking at about 60 amps is about all you need to run this. Hello again, Chad. So the power consumption's another reason. Hello from the top side of Indiana. Shadow 665. Can't say that I've seen that one in there. Good afternoon or good evening.
Wow. Pink.
Definitely want to say good evening to another hand here in Indiana.
No 3-handed?
No, 3-Maid's not out there. 3-Maid's sick, honey. Yeah, no Chinese today.
Okay. Pink, yellow, and it's beautiful. Here. Why?
That way they can hear you. They're not looking at you, they're just listening to you. There.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
So my helper did come back after all.
Beautiful pink hands,
Working on
yellow
build yet.
hands. Beer, beautiful.
Well, I will be taking in April. I will start taking some repairs again. After April, I want to get through. The get together they've got down in Kentucky. I think Donkey Stomper, I think, is putting that one on. That's close to his hometown. So I'm going to go down and visit him. Haven't seen him in a couple years, I think. Something like that. Let's see. see here. If I've got any other notes on that, because I'm thinking that that is wrong on the wraps on the input. Yep, that's what I thought.
Ah, Chinese 美丽的瓷娃娃。
Oh, so it is
Let's
actually in Sparta. Yes.
Chinese.
Yes, he put it in
Thank
Chinese. For
you. Thank you. Very, very thank you. I'm look Chinese. 美丽的瓷娃娃。
What did he say, honey?
Beautiful. Understand?
Yes, understand.
漂亮的宝贝。
Hold on to the daggone wire. I'll get the input cut here. Yeah, I don't have enough cash set back to place another big order for wire. I'd love to do that beforehand and get it here, but don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I'd love to sit there and like I said, make a big order for some Teflon wire, but I just don't have the extra cash right now to do that. You know, most of what I'm building just out of pure stock that I have on hand. She loves pushing the little heart buttons.
Very hot.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you, Puny. Very, very hot.
I'm actually gonna try to go ahead here. Tomorrow I'm gonna take some time out. I'm gonna place another order for relays because I've got another gentleman. He still hasn't told me how many he wants. Although I've got about 60 of them set back for him, but he still hasn't told me exactly, you know, how many he wants, and I really would like to know so that I could go ahead and get a good idea as far as what I need to order. I mean, I've got it in my head what I want to order. As far as for my stock, but I'm probably going to order not double, but I'm going to order a third more than what I've been ordering on the relays.
Oh, beautiful. 马，大马。Hello. This.
Well, hello, Warren. Well, it's been a long time since I've heard you or seen you pop in there. Good to see you again.
See you again. Beautiful. Husband give you beer.
Whiskey Boble.
Give you beer. Okay.
Yeah, I understand working a lot. God, do I understand that. You know, of course, right now I've been working this last, you know, for the most part this last year, which it's worked out in my advantage just because of everything that we've been trying to get done as far as with the wife. But I've actually stepped down to kind of a part-time job, where I only work generally 40 hours a week. I know, what's a part-time job?
Gonna give you.
Yeah. I just got in from work
Friend
just
give
now.
you.
Yep. Yeah, I've worked nights for many, many years.
Worker night. Yes. Work. My husband always work.
Yes, husband always work 14 and a half.
I will always work. Today. Yes, no? No.
You've been working, yeah. You've been slouching too. But I can't complain, considering what I pay her, which is nothing. So, she can take as
Fail.
many breaks as she wants, I guess.
Four. 14 fail. Love you with. Thank you. Your friend love you with you.
What we got here?
Love you with you.
I'm a steak guy. Well, thank you too, Mr. KB771. Yeah, I know it will. The other side of it too is we've got tax time, and that's another reason why I've been trying to build like a fiend. During tax time, I haven't actually been able to build anything ahead in the last 3 or 4 years, and I finally have a little bit of time. I'm going to try to actually build a little bit of stock for, that's what this is just stock to be able to put up for sale. I've got a 2 pill base, a 4 pill base, and a 1x6 base.
Ha ha ha.
Lightning guy.
Ha ha ha.
She's finding amusement. She's slowly learning how to read the English. She knows she knows the alphabet probably better than I do, but she's still learning how to read. Let me grab some ferrite and all the other anemones here.
Oh, wow. Light. For light.
What's that? Yeah, light bulbs.
Yeah, the light.
Yeah, yellow lights.
Beautiful.
Well, I know as far as for me, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. Um, that's kind of my job title. You know, I do industrial maintenance um, through the week. However, you know what I wind up doing is anything from electrical, which right now I'm putting in some um, new electric on a machine for two more thermolators. So just about to get that project done. I know we've got two or three up and coming projects there at work that need to be squared away and done, but um, it's just having the downtime in order to go ahead and actually get it done. Of course, anybody that works in the maintenance field, can feel the pain on that. They want to run, 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 but they don't want to shut down long enough. And I'm going to be about an inch short to use those. Do, 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 do. Yeah, this will be the next endeavor that I have my wife do. It's going to take her a bit because she's
Husband,
still learning. What, baby?
you hungry? Guru,
No,
guru,
I'm
guru.
gulu, gulu. No, I'm not hungry, honey. Husband eat plenty for dinner.
Yes. Guru, guru. I know.
That's just the digestion of the food. Turn that static down. That's about to drive me batty. Alexa, turn the volume to 1. Alexa, play Nickelback.
Music.
Yeah, that way it's not loud enough that the microphone will pick it up, but it's loud enough that I'll be able to hear it. Let's see. A 2 or 4 bill from you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're welcome to order one anytime you want. Just pick what you want to try. But yeah, speaking of the 1200s, I called my supplier and last week, and he never did call me back. I'm gonna have to actually call him again this week.
And it is okay. Not good.
What's the matter, honey?
It's
Oh,
okay.
this is better.
Not good.
Okay, they're your socks. If you want to cut a hole in them, go ahead. This is interesting. Alexa, continue my music. Okay, well, it just shut off. Well, Tony, on the MRF454s, actually about 60 watts. 60 watts will give you about all that it will put out. You can run anywhere from about 60 to 100 into it on a PEP, and you're going to get about the same. But that's one of the beauties about these is they don't really require tons and tons of drive to get full power out of a 4 pill.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's whatever, honey. Yeah, they're your socks. Yeah, I need to get some more. I'm getting actually pretty low on them. I've got um, I've got another power supply started, but where I haven't been able to really use this arm a whole lot from the tendons. The tendons in my arm are deteriorated, so I've got to go in and have surgery done. They're going to work on the right arm first, see how the healing and everything works on that before they work on the left hand, because I'm primarily left-handed. So I want to make sure that it's going to work. The first one that they're offering for surgery is going to work before we start monkeying with both of them. If I get a hold of that again, where's the end of it? There it is. I thought I had it calculated enough to give me what I wanted, but the gray, I'm afraid they're going to come up short. I may be wrong, but I'll try it a little later, but off camera before. Okay, for whatever reason, the microphone's shut off, guys. I'm sorry. Yes, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Well, I've got the one on charge, and then I took my wife's. So hopefully we'll take care of that problem. Just clean these up with a file real quick.
Beautiful. Mm, 100.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Well, hello, Mr. RS, Rolling Stone. There's a man that's been working today. I think he's been working. More than likely, he actually had his wife do all the work out there for him. But honey, I can't run the drill and hold the drywall. He knows I'm just giving him heck. He's another friend of mine. He lives on the outskirts of Indiana. Okay, well, we'll do this. Unfortunately, I think I am going to probably have to end the live feed here before too much longer for some reason. For some reason. I don't know why, but my microphones keep shutting off, but I didn't think they were that dead. So I plugged the other one back in for a minute.
Chinese microphone same.
Chinese microphone. Well, I think this came from China.
Same microphone. Chinese microphone.
Well, there you go. That's the problem. It's not an American microphone. It's a Chinese microphone.
Yes.
Oh my God, the first thing she actually agreed with me on. And we've actually got it on camera. My wife agreed with me on something, guys. So it's time to go buy a lottery ticket or something. Right now, I don't have an actual website. As far as stock goes, generally speaking, I don't have stock. Unfortunately, a lot of us we typically do order only, and it's not often that I actually get time to actually build stock. I usually build based on what somebody orders. Yep, most everything we've got is made in China. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in something, let me know. It kind of depends. I mean, a lot of it just depends on what kind of wait time that you're willing to wait. That's probably going to be your big thing. As far as stock right now, let me get closer to the microphone here. Bear with me. Yeah, as far as stock goes, right now, I've got a 2 pill base, a 4 pill base, a 1x6 base built. Um, just to kind of name a few things, anyways. I mean, I've got other stuff that I'm going to try to make, but again, stock is just not something most of us builders get the opportunity to build because of the fact that there's usually just one person in the shop building.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, it really would be. Speaking of which, though, the MRF 454s that HG has created, that is another reason why I kind of like to build with them, even though they don't put out the power that some of the other transistors are capable of. Is the fact that they're one of the few transistors that I will have to say that HG has knocked out of the park as far as consistency and reliability. It's just like the MRF 421s. They're not too terribly bad. They do almost as much, not quite, but almost as much as the regular 2879s. Um, which the little 2 pill base that I built, because I've got plenty of stock of those. I went ahead and built a 2 pill base out of that because usually most people are just looking for between 300 to 400 watts for a driver, and they're right in the same ballpark. Like I said, they're right in the same ballpark as a regular 2879. I haven't tried volting them. So I just run them. I just run them typically at about 14.5, like most everything else that I build. About pieces. Yeah, the video's actually out on the YouTube channel for that as well.
It's okay.
Okay. Wow.
Oh my
Long
God.
tie.
Long time.
Yeah.
And my hand is this.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I'm not showing your face tonight.
yes.
Yeah. Just all the pieces and parts that you're putting together.
And my hand is
Once you get that done, honey, then you get to put all these on.
and my hand is scared.
Yeah, I bet.
One.
Yeah, I'll get you more. If you're out, I'll get you more. And don't worry, if I didn't lay out enough of the right parts, don't worry. We got plenty more diodes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
I'm today tired.
You can stop anytime you want, honey.
Beautiful, honey.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, yeah, she's proud. She's actually done pretty good on these. We can get that into the camera here a little bit. You know, working on the keying circuit. You know, just a simple one, but you know, that's what 99% of us use. Back over here to what I'm working on. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Okay. Little. No.
Oh, by the way, Chad, not everything is made in China. Some of us have imported China here to go ahead and have
Made in
cut down
China.
cut down on that. She'll beat me later for that. I know, Chad. That's not right. But you know, everybody was thinking it. It can be used for that. If I go ahead and put the, I can't remember if it needs. Yeah, you should be able to use it on FM because this one's not set up with the biasing. Hello, Jeremy. Believe it or not, that's actually a 2-watt resistor. It's actually smaller than a 1-watt resistor now. You know, there's a few people that they have been doing that. They've actually been selling kits, and that's something that I looked into doing about 18 or 20 years ago. Um, you know, problem the problem that I see with that is because I could sit there and build 10 amplifiers, and all 10 of them are going to have just a slight different tune. Um, you know, so it works, but it doesn't work. I mean, back in the days when we still had, you know, the Toshibas, you know, I could have gotten by with that. But the problem is I couldn't buy enough stuff in a high enough quantity for it to be profitable. Um, you know, that's the thing that I had. Okay, we'll plug the other one back in. Let's go back and forth here. Sorry about that. Glad you said something. It's another reason why I've got it out here so I can see the green light. Because I can't switch over to the one that's built into the camera. But yeah, that is exactly right, Chad. That's the main reason why we don't typically build them or sell the kits. Because again, if there is a problem with it, it doesn't work the way you think it should, or it doesn't put out what you think it should. There is so many variables. Um, and there again, I know Donkey Stomper can say the same thing. He builds amps every day, every day. Um, and even if you build four exactly the same, like I said, you're going to have to change something. Something will have to change on every single one of them in order to get it to tune out right. Like I said, we're not dealing with Toshibas anymore, where you could sit there and go XYZ part, and it's going to be close enough every single time. Where it will function and stay functioning. Um, and it's not the fact that it won't work when you get it put together. It's the fact that um, again, there's too many variables. Um, I hate to say that, but there's just too many variables that go into those kits. And kudos for the guys that are trying to sell the kits. Like I said, it's something that a lot of us have thought of over the years. It's just there's too many things that can go wrong with trying to build it without having the knowledge of what it takes to actually tune the daggone thing out. Oh yeah, yeah. The tech support would be ungodly for that. I mean, that's all we would actually get done is tech support. Well, why is it not working? Well, why did it quit working in the middle of me doing what I was doing? Um, I mean, there's 100 different scenarios. There's 100 different scenarios that could go on with that. Let's see here. A little different. Yep. Yeah, and that's very true, Mr. Baldy. There's a lot of us that we're all doing the same thing, but we've all got our own special little recipe, if you will. Yeah, and that's actually probably your best bet, honestly, is to just buy one from an individual, and try to copy it. Like I said, it's not the fact that you won't get it working, because you will, um, but it's the fact that there is you know other variables that are in play there. Anybody that's wanting to learn or to just build their own, um, I would recommend you start with a two pill. I know a lot of people tell you to start with a one pill, which a one pill really is the easiest, and it's actually less complicated. still see the green light, so we're still good. But yeah, going back to the individual builders and stuff, yeah, you know, you got to remember a lot of us, we have spent a lot of money, and we have put a lot of thought process and a lot of work into, you know, creating what we have built. Um, you know, I've got a guy that you know, used to come down here pretty regular, and he decided that he wanted to build himself this massive amplifier. Um, I told him that he was, you know, making a huge mistake taking on that big of a project, and he'd never built before, you know, and he bought, he bought everything that he needed, or so he thought, anyways, to build a 32 pill, and he got part of it done. I mean, you know, understandable on that, but he stopped because once you hit that certain threshold, and that is not something easy to build, um, by any, by any stretch of the imagination. It is not. Um, and I even have to take my hat off to Chad, who builds, more of those than probably anybody else out here for right now. Um, that's just not an amp that, if you're not experienced, I would not recommend you try to take on. I mean, I don't even like to build those things that big. But I mean, I get it whenever you start seeing the price tags of something like that. Let's see here. EPS exactly. The power supply is probably the easiest to build. Um, I've had a lot of builders that even actually send people to me to build power supplies, especially back when we were still all using the 30 and 40 amp modules. Uh, just because of the way I build. I mean, I've even had more, Luke gets busy. I've even had a few calls where he's sent people to me to have power supplies built. Which I got to thank him for that. Each time I get a call. Yeah, Luke is a very knowledgeable person. I've had the pleasure to know him personally for many years. And my wife, there she goes. She took off with my scissors, and I didn't know what she did with them. Yeah, Luke will build some stuff that I won't mess with, which there again, you go into the tube stuff, and we've got guys that's all they specialize in, and I'll tell you that is a very, very special field. I'll get those trimmed here in a second. I want to kind of see a fit on that. Just where I know I'm about to run out of real estate. That's the reason why I decided to build the combiners and splitters the way I've got them. Yeah, you let go a little bit. You had a little slack hidden. Let's see. Yeah, that's very true, Chad. Nobody understands how many hours we sit in front of a soldering iron doing this. Well, thank you guys. I know that is something that, like I said, everybody has said so far. I try to take as much pride as I can in working in here when I do stuff like that. It's just like, watching Chad, especially when I was down there, visiting with him here, like I said, a year or two ago. Um, I got to thank him for these, even though this is not the same brand, which I actually do have a pair, but it doesn't have the spring. They've actually got two different versions. This one doesn't have the spring, so it's hard for me to get the feel of this one. But I have found that after seeing how slick he was doing it with these, um, yeah, I went back to a cheap, that's what it is. I mean, it's just a cheap, wire stripper. I haven't used one of these since high school, and when it comes to the Teflon wire, I was actually even considering. I was actually considering buying. They've got some that are like $300. But what I didn't like about them was well, they were plug in the wall. They had a special inductance heater on the inside of them that was designed specifically for Teflon. Um, I actually considered buying one of those, and you know, I seen Chad use these $15 pair of wire strippers, and it's like, you got to be kidding me! It's that easy, because I mean I have fought with that for years. I mean it's just you'll pick up things from friends and different people, and like I said, some of it will just blow your mind at some of the simplest, you know, simplest ways of getting around different things. It's just like I believe I don't think I put it on. Well, I'm sure I didn't put it on YouTube, but I do believe that it is uploaded on my Patreon. I haven't gotten any messages or anything, stating that I've had anybody comment on it yet on my Patreon page. But another guy that is a master electrician. Um, he's used one of these for 35 years, and this thing is invaluable. It's like 35 or 40 bucks on eBay or on Amazon. Let's see, my power supply. Camera poles drilled in cables and airflow. Well, actually, I did one of those here 6 or 7 years ago. I did an ammo can power supply. Now I kept mine hermetically sealed, because I wanted it to where it could be used essentially in a, outdoor application, where it could take some physical abuse. Yeah, we used to have a builder, and I don't know if Donkey Stomper remembers that guy or not. There actually was a guy that was trying to convince everybody that a plastic enclosure was, the perfect Faraday cage. Um, I don't know whatever happened to that particular builder. Um, I know that I questioned a lot of his methods myself. We'll just leave it at that. Like I said, I can't even remember who it was now, but I remember seeing them on eBay for sale. I'm actually surprised you guys haven't asked me about that. Yeah, the microphone's still on. I really can't remember, to be honest with you. MOSFET boards, Skywave. Yeah. Well, and that's the main reason why. I mean, because I'm not going to stoop to his level, but yes, he did trash a lot of us builders out here. Well, let me show you guys. And I know I got a good friend down in Tennessee that he will wind up buying one of these before it's over with. Because if he has ever taken an electrical cord, we're just using this one for example, because I mean, I do use 110 and I've already got it preset for this particular cable, I think. But I may have to adjust it a little bit. But anyways, let's say you want to strip that jacket back and you want to go back a foot. I think I've already got it set for this. Oops. Yeah, need to adjust that just a little bit more. See if I can get it back in that same groove. Might not have it set quite to the depth that I want. That's the other thing too, is you want to practice on the tip of it first. Get your depth set right. Because you'll actually adjust this nut and it goes into the depth. I'll go back here and make a fresh cut. You'll spin that around there. You'll flip the lever over and hold it and run it down the side of it. And it will make a nice clean cut all the way around. And you got the depth set right. And it splits the housing. If you don't have the housing quite enough, you use the tip of this to go down through there. So I don't have it set just quite right for this. There we go. That should be enough. Go back here a little further. That should be plenty good. There we go. And sometimes you can get it with your finger and sometimes you can't. Get that popped a little bit. But you can strip that way back. Well, like I said, if you adjust the cutter properly the first time, but it's actually an industrial cutter for the large THHN and locomotive cable. I think it's LDL cable. You know, this is great. You know, and then you can adjust it for an extremely thick cable. But I brought that home to actually do on a couple of different cords before I took it back to work. But you know, if you need to take 6, 8, 10 feet off, for example, if you wanted to go that insane, which most of us don't, usually about a foot to 18 inches, but it makes life so much easier. I've actually needed it work twice this last week, and I didn't have it with me. Hello, Catalyst. Yeah. Well, the other guy that I work with, that, like I said, he's a master electrician. He's been doing it for 40 years. Like I said, he actually got me to actually buy one of these just because I seen how many times that we have to strip that big cable at work when putting the 3, 6, and 1200 amp motors in. Um, it makes life so much easier. Now, sometimes, we're only stripping back, maybe an inch to 3 inches on that big cable. But whenever you try to go through that insulation and then split it to get it off of there, if you got your little blade, I don't know if you can see that little bitty pin inside there or not. It's right there at the tip. And like I said, what it is, it's designed so that you'll flip this lever over, hold it, and bring it right down the side of the cable, and you can strip back as much cable as needed. So, I mean, it's like I said, it's an awesome tool. Uh, I'm half tempted to buy another one just to leave here, and so that I've got one at work. Well, good night, Mr. RS Rolling Stone. All right, buddy, you take care. We will catch you later. More work in the morning. Yep, I know I've got to get some work done tomorrow too. So, speaking of which, we've been on here, guys, for about 12 hours, and I probably need to get off here myself. So, I got pretty much where I wanted to stop at, anyways. We got our transformers all set. We got our, of course, I already had the relay on there, but I wanted to get the combiners taken care of and get those put in. But yeah, like I said, should be good to go on this. Won't take long now since we've got the heart of it built. I'll probably set this up and just leave it at Class C for now. And then if somebody decides to, I'll stick another relay somewhere and tap off and run biasing if they decide they want to add biasing to this. I know the last 1x2 was on the same board, and that's kind of what got me wanting to build this one. Um, as I went ahead and set this up, like I said, with the MRF454. The other one I used the 3-pole relay, which is big and bulky, but because of where he wanted it biased for sideband, we went ahead and used that to cut down on the overall clutter on the board, just because there was so much going on with everything. But well, hello, Mr. Carlock. Good to see you out here this late at night. And you've already missed the wife. Yeah, yeah, she's been working her little heart out for me. She's been building preamps, and this is only a portion of it, but she's been building keying circuits. So, once she gets all these done, I'll stick a few hundred more in front of her and take some of those down there. Hopefully, to Tennessee with me. So I'm gonna try to go down and visit with Chad and some of the other guys that I haven't seen in a while. I've missed the last couple of breaks that's been close by just because of all the work. So, but yeah, she's been a trooper. I'll have to go through and double check, but she's after doing a dozen of them or so before I started on that, she's gotten pretty good at it. But I'll go back and I'll double check and make sure she's got them all oriented right. But all right, guys, it's been great having you guys out here this evening. I really didn't plan on being out here on the YouTube this long, but like I said, I just kind of, yeah, once things get rolling, we all get to talking. It's just really nice. So, all right, everybody, good night. God bless, and we will catch you on the next video.